years ago, Mesoamerica was founded, one of the few places in the world where ancient civilization emerged independently. It stretches from southern Mexico through Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. Sierra Madre, a long mountain range, starts in Mesoamerica. It is known for its exceptionally diverse geography, biology, and culture, and has the most geographically and topographically varied regions on Earth. It provides sandy beaches, swamps, jungles, and volcanic peaks. Mesoamerica cultivates maize, tomatoes, squash, chili, turkey, and beans. Lake Nicaragua is its largest body of water. Its climate in the highlands is from tropical to cold, subtropical and tropical in the lowlands, and temperate and moderate rainfall in the mainland. Rainfall in southern Yucatan is about 20 inches per year, while it is 1,000 inches per year in the Maya highlands. The Mesoamerica regions practice sacrifice, auto-sacrifice, ball games, and polytheism, and believed in dualistic nature, symbolic numerology, and the four elements. They developed their own system of writing, which is the hieroglyphic scripts, astronomy, mathematics, and they were said to be the ones who invented the concept of zero.
The Maya civilization is located in the East Valley of Mexico, the modern Guatemala highlands, and south of the Yucatan Peninsula along the Pacific coast. They were the main producers of cacao, often roasted and had a bitter taste. As a drink, it was drunk by the upper class. Cacao beans were used as a currency in the market, and fermented beer was made from the pulp of the fruit. They were also very endemic and were often involved in bloody clashes. The aristocrats' wealth was based on the ownership of land. Nobles were priests, scribes, sculptors, or painters, and the middle class were the artisans and traders. The population were farmers who lived on chinampa plots or terraced hills. Men's role in society was to hunt and fight, while women were to stay at home and prepare cornmeal, their staple food. However, noble women played an essential role in political and religious life. Pacal was the king of Palenque, one of the most powerful Mayan city-states. The Mayans were polytheistic. Itzamna was the supreme god, creator of all things, and was the one who brought the knowledge of maize, cacao, medicine, and writing. Jaguar, however, was the god of night and evil. Deities were ranked according to importance, and they had human characteristics. Human sacrifice was practiced in order to please the heavens. They also played the ball game, in which the vanquished players were sacrificed. They developed a writing system based on hieroglyphs. Symbols in their calendar represented the dates. Scribes compiled official records and wrote on tree bark or deer skin. The only surviving written records today are the ones carved in stone. With their sophisticated knowledge in astronomy, the Mayans recorded the movements of heavenly bodies. Long count was a system of calculating time based on a lunar calendar. Civilization eventually declined, and the theory states that this was due to overcultivation of land because the growing population gradually reduced crop yields, resulting to the long drought.
Inca means ruler, and also was a small city in the area of Cusco. They used the language of Quechua. Pachacuti, the Incan ruler, was known to be the transformer of the world because he turned Cusco from a city of mud and thatch into an imposing metropolis of stone, which, with its temple dedicated to the sun and ruins of Machu Picchu. He launched a campaign of conquest where he wanted the entire region to be under his authority. Under him, the boundaries of the empire were extended as far as Ecuador, central Chile, and the edge of the Amazon basin. The Four Quarters was a highly centralized state. Pachacuti divided the empire with mathematical precision into districts and provinces that were ruled by a governor who was related to the royal family. The state was built on forced labor. Rural areas practiced farming, while those on the mountains practiced terraced agriculture or irrigation systems. Marriage was strictly regulated. Men and women were required to choose their partner from within their immediate tribal group. However, there were a few chosen virgins who were able to escape from a life of domestic servitude. They served in the temple and vowed to remain chaste. If this vow was broken, they would face severe consequences. The Incan culture was built on war. Incan armies had up to 200,000 soldiers. Llamas were used to carry supplies since they were not aware of the wheel. No writing system was developed, but that did not stop them from having a high level of cultural achievement. They kept records of using a system of knots called quipu, memory, and recitation. Tradition of court, theater, poetry, weaved textiles, and music with reed instruments flourished. Incas were polytheistic and believed that the emperors were demigods. Viracocha was the creator and the most powerful god. They also believed in the afterlife. They had a respect for the dead and that priests.
Second millennium holds the history of the mother culture of Mesoamerica, the Olmecs. In the hot and swampy lowlands near the Gulf of Mexico lies their intensive agriculture. They cultivated crops like corn and beans. They fished and hunted in order to survive. They were known for their production of rubber, thus they were known as people of the land of rubber. They traded raw latex for salt and obsidian. They became part of the widespread trading network by offering rubber. With their knowledge on the production of rubber, they were able to make a ball from the sap of a local rubber tree in order to play a ceremonial game on a stone ball and court called pokatok. They were also skilled artisans. They produced stone heads, carved stone ornaments, tools, and monuments at San Lorenzo and La Venta. The ceremonial precinct, the 30 feet high earthen pyramid, which is the largest in Meso. The four famous Olmec colossal heads are found in the La Venta. Over time, they were able to influence parts of Mexico and the future civilizations of Mesoamerica.
In Aztlan, the island in the middle of the lake, lies the heart of the Aztecs, which is Tenochtitlan. It is surrounded by mountains, while the south was surrounded by a grassland. It is a collection of semi-autonomous territories, thus it is not identified as a centralized state. They were excellent warriors which sought alliances, and they were under the unification of Huitzilopochtli, the Aztec sun and war god. The Aztec state was authoritarian, or enforcing strict obedience to the authority at the expense of personal freedom. Their power was vested in the monarch, whose authority had been both divine and secular character. Their rulers were declared as descendants from the gods who served as a mediator from the material and metaphysical world. Their rulers were headed by a prime minister, and their most important form of government officials in the provinces were the tax collectors. Their social structure differs from the many that we know today. Male children from noble families were sent to the temple schools to train for war and serve the army. Once they were old enough, they would seek careers in the military service. The rest of the populace consisted of commoners, employed workers, and the priesthood. Majority of the population consisted of commoners, which were members of the large kinship groups called capules, which were headed by an elected chief. They were also provided a method of agriculture, which was the chinampas, where they would plant it on a raised dirt platform to prevent flooding. Chastity and obedience are great values that the Aztecs tried to uphold for women. They were shown to be unequal between men and women. Marriage was usually monogamous, although noble families practiced polygamy. The Aztecs were polytheistic, for they believed in the many gods, and they had more than 100 deities. Though they had a supreme deity, which was Ometeotl, they believed in the existence of a material and divine world, which was the earth as the material world, and heaven and hell as the divine world. The home of the gods. They encouraged proper behavior as a sign of preparation for the judgment day. Priesthood was also encouraged. The Aztecs also went through a process of secularization. They believed that the human sacrifice was an honor. To be a sacrificial victim meant that they represented valor, which is valued by the Aztecs. Their hearts were ripped out, and they were presented as a holy offering. The Aztec agriculture and art had religious significance. The sacred precinct was located at the center of the capital city. Tenochtitlan, which was declared to be the sun and rain gods of Tenochtitlan, was dedicated to their sun and rain gods Huitzilopochtli and Tlaloc. It contained shrines and altars for these gods. They worked on stone and soft metals for art to represent gods, and bas reliefs depicting on religious ceremonies. The Aztecs believed that they were living in the world of the fifth and final sun. They developed a form of writing in hieroglyphs, but they had no phonetic significance, though they were eventually destroyed by the Spaniards, thus resulting in the end of the Aztec civilization.
Madilim na.